Yup. And a hook that literally just was so small it couldn't make it into its mouth. Yeah. Yep. It is a like 5.25 pounds. Bro, I'm putting you back in the water in just a second. It is 21 inches. This little bitty ultralight with a hook that did not penetrate its mouth. I've already caught a few. I'm just gonna take the other half of that worm. Barely hook it. Try not to get this rod all dirty. I bought 2 of these proficiency rods. And one of them broke on the 3rd cast, and this one's still alive. Got the drag set real light. Got 2-pound test, so I can't really horse anything. Shy, I guess. Oh, there's one. Oh no. There we go. What's up, Seth? I'm not setting the hook on these things. It's very hard. A bit too large to be hoisting with 2-pound line. What I was saying was I'm not really setting the hook on these fish. I'm just letting them bite it. And I'm just lifting my rod and letting them load down on it. But Eagle Claw makes a long shanked hook, and whale. I got me a stick fish. That'll screw up the spot for a second. Make these fish a lot less likely to swallow it all the way to their butts. This is a proficiency 6.5 foot ultralight with a 30 thousandth with a 30 thousandth reel, or 30 thou reel, 30 size, geez Louise, 30 size reel, and it's got, it may be 4 pound. I thought it was 2 pound, but looking at it now, it's definitely not 2 pounds. It's 4 pounds test. Wow. I don't even know what line I put on it, even though I 9 times out of 10 would be able to tell you. And took my whole worm. That was my fault. Bad news, or bad part about hooking the worms like that is if they grab a tail and you ain't got a lot of bite on the worm. Like I caught a fish with that one. We'll just take your worm. Since that happened, I'm gonna pinch half of that off. Sometimes I hook it once. It's better to hook it twice. It does keep your worm on a little better, but you want that action. And I'm not casting very far, so I don't need a whole bunch of worm or weight to get it out there. The biggest thing is making sure you catch the bite. If not, they'll suck that worm down. Like that one. I don't know how long he was on there because I never seen him bite. And exactly what I assumed happened. They'll get it down so fast you can't even see it. So that's the last one of these things I'm catching on that hook. Well, the bigger fish got it in there, and that's how I want them to get hooked. I just want them to get hooked not much further than their nose. That's a beautiful bluegill. Kind of got this hook hid, and I do know if they're taking it, they've probably got the hook in their mouth. I'll be dang. Oh. Whew. Dang it. I cannot believe that didn't go to the barb. Okay, I'm gonna do something real quick. There's this limb right here. Right here. If that limb was to come down and come up onto the bank, it would open up casting opportunities a lot more. The whole limb could come down, but what I have with me, I know we ain't gonna cut it. So I'm gonna start with that lower limb real quick. Well, I got that branch cut down and looked across the pond. It's kind of a lake. It's a pretty big pond, and there were 2 Amish sitting on the bank, ready to clean her out. And like, we're Christians. We're all Christians. We all make mistakes, but when every single one of the Amish community is known for that bullcrap, it's a little bit different of a story. You cannot, just because a pond looks good, come and fish it. Like, I'm one of very few people that get to come here and go fishing, and like, I use that. Like, I come here after lunch. I was just like, man, I need a few hours to go out and spend some time on the water. So I done that, and I've done that. I fished for an hour and a half last night, and I fished like 4 times this week just to really set off the spring. And dude, it's hard for me to judge somebody else when I'm as terrible of a person as I am, but you gotta do better. Like, I get it, but they got selective hearing, ran, and I'm pretty sure in their Bible is the same as mine, and it says, follow the rules of man. So just do better. That's all I gotta say. let's call this part 2. I ended up going through a whole pack of drop shots. Ended up having this, it's a tiny drop shot hook. Very tiny. Whole night crawler. Not doing this again. I'm out here. I got a whole night crawler on there. Just hooked right to the tip. Basically, these fish would not bite on a jig head. They would not bite on 3 different colors of jig heads. They would not bite on a bobber. They would only bite on these little bitty hooks. You know what happened here. Good night, bro. I did not know that fish had it. Yeah, we got her back. Never mind. Could not get him to bite on anything until I went back to the drop shot hook, and which, not just the drop shot hook, caught mother F word. Oh my God, I'm so sick of being in this tree. Well, there goes another freaking hook. Dude, this is... Oh. Part of it. Just what I keep telling myself. I love tying hooks. But this is a Zone Locks size 4 drop shot octopus hook. And it hooks fish really good. They seem to swallow them to their butts, but I have not had any fish swallow this one yet. Rig here, just hooked to the tip of the night crawler, the head of the night crawler, and I'm just casting it out there without trying to get into a tree. I did remove the tree limb, but don't let it set very long, because they may just be swallowing it to their butts. Like right here, there's a fish. Make sure he's on. Oh my Lanta, don't do that. All you gotta do is just let them load themselves. Let them load themselves into that hook, and they'll do the work. Having a really limber rod, light line, will allow for the... Oh my. Okay. Dude, there's no way. No way. There's a way. Oh. Yeah, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is not. I'm about to go through, if I'd have paid full price for them, almost $10 in hooks. Because I don't have the capabilities of not casting in this damn tree. And I promise you, I promise, next time I come, this tree branch will no longer be a part of this tree. How can I say that with such confidence? Because there is a chainsaw that is a really big piece of bait. I have a chainsaw that says that it won't be here no more. Great spot. Could not ask for a better spot to set down and fish. What I could ask for is a little better casting abilities. Even, I mean, I don't even know if it's that. Wow, I did not know you were on there. Eat it again. Once you fight like a freaking bluegill, you're not like a whale, bro. Nice. That'd be a good eating fish right there. She's nice and thick. I'm gonna throw a small piece of bait out there and see what happens. Well, probably nothing. Besides, it'll get eaten. But one's probably already ate it to its butt because I'm not paying attention. I do know I'll have to get on it a little faster. Like there. That's a little fish, so it probably got it. They're getting them right about where I want them to now. But that has to do with how I'm paying attention to the fish. I'm paying attention to the bite. I'm paying attention to, how I'm hooking the fish. I can't just yank on this. If I just haul back and yank on this, I'll either A, break the rod, or B, break the line, or C, not even hook the fish. This came from a lot of experience catching fish. And there's a nice one. Buddy, dig a little harder, why don't you? Must be a big bluegill. It is a big bluegill. What in the guy? A mess of those things don't sound too bad. Go the whole night crawler, hook it through the tip. One more for a little bit of love. Leaves a tiny little bit of hook exposed. You can hardly see the hook because it is very little. But these bluegill will inhale this whole night crawler. Even the 7 or 8 inch fish will. One just picked it up. I don't have it right now. Reel up. See that fish there? It only had a part of the tail. And the more you fish this technique, the more you'll understand. I'm not saying you can't do it with 12-pound test on a Zebco. I'm not saying you can't, but the technique that I'm using, which is almost a whole night crawler and a very small hook, because that's the only thing they're biting. It is a technique that I actually used whenever I was growing up. We had a couple lakes there next to the house that were public, and the fish would not. Oh, I could put a better hook in this thing. The fish, you could throw a worm in front of them. Oh, piss. I got that back. Okay. That was a good worm, too. You could throw a worm in front of these fish all day. If they could see your hook, though, you never would come close to catching one. So I dug a lot of worms back then. And I got these worms from my yard last night with intentions of going fishing today. Not with intentions of going after lunch, but I did that because I chose to. But I would go dig a lot of worms, like a lot of earthworms, small earthworms. Really, the smaller the better. And I would put like as many of them on the hook as it took, and they would just squirm all over the place. And whenever I would put the fish fell back in the water. Whenever I would put that into their bed, and I would do it on a hook that I knew didn't have a long shank on it, something like this, like a really small size 4 or 6, and I would let them swallow that whole entire glob of worms and let them swim out of the bed. And I would then let the fish load the hook into its mouth, and then I would set the hook just ever so slightly. And I went from fishing a whole evening on those beds and maybe catching 10 fish to I would catch, oh my Lanta, I'm really happy that got off. That was a bass. And that thing just about ran me to Timbuktu. I would never have caught that fish. I may want to switch to a bigger rod. If I hook a bass, I will never get it in right here if it runs that way. But I went to catching a lot of bluegill. Oh, I'm going through my bait pretty quick. If I use a little piece of bait, can I get away with them not swallowing? I know I can set the hook on them a lot faster. Oh, it didn't swallow it. Have it. But if I show this whole video, you'll see I had a lot of issues with A, fish not wanting to bite anything but a tiny hook, and B, I couldn't keep my bait out of the trees. I'm a little uncomfortable right now. I got a fish though. This would not be a very good method for like a kid or something. Like if you're not planning on keeping fish, like I'm not planning on it, you want to make sure you give them something that if they're not paying attention and the fish takes their bobber down or takes their rod out, that you're gonna get your hook back, which is like a longer shanked, like eagle claw hook. I don't even know what the heck they're called right now off the top of my head. But the big thing is keeping this bait moving so that one doesn't set and eat the, oh wow. So one doesn't sit and eat the worm all the way down to its gut. So letting it set for 2 or 3 seconds, watching where the line is going into the water just to see if one picks it up and starts swimming off. And then not doing that. Jeez. I cannot believe I got that back. happens to be night crawlers that work right now. But there's times that the night crawlers won't work, and you have to go down to a red worm or an earthworm. I like the red worms that come from like the gas stations and like Walmart and stuff, because they got a little different smell to them, and I think that's something new for the fish. And they see, I had one pick it up right there when I picked it up when I moved it. Oh, what's up, bud? Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? And I'm not sure if hooking them in the head has anything to do with it. I don't know if these fish know the difference between the head and the tail, but it seems like I still hook a lot of fish with this method, even though it's a small fish. Like that worm was longer than that fish. It's just 3 to 5 seconds, picking it up, letting it fall. 3 to 5 seconds. If a fish ain't on it, pick it up, but be cautious when you pick that line up, because sometimes that fish will just be getting the bait in its mouth. Like I just had one pick it up and it's swimming. Oh my Lanta. It took off running and ripped the worm apart. I would love to be able to just set the bait down, and I've got too excited the last 2 times. The other boy got his fix, took off. What a nice bluegill. I didn't, but I did. Oh man, dude, I've got 3 hooks in the same exact limb of this tree. I'm so frustrated at this tree. It's not even funny. Like, not even funny at all. Like, I'm really frustrated at this tree. Shit, but I might be breaking the tree limb. God, dude, ain't no mother No. That was a perfect time. I seen a huge swirl. Seen a huge swirl, and it turned out to be a bass, a big bass. Well, I lost one. This is probably just over a pound fish, and I've got him skin hooked, but I lost probably a 4.5 pound fish just 2 casts ago, right after I shut the camera off. So yeah. Sup, sis? Yup. Well, I'm really sad that I didn't get that on video, but dang near a 6 pound fish. I'm gonna, give that one a, oh, it's still sitting right here. I'm gonna keep my phone videoing because I'm almost out of worms. I really feel like I should put a bigger hook on. If that's I hooked one other fish that I assumed to be around 4 pounds. It could have been the same fish easily, but I did fight it quite a bit, so I doubt it was. The fish is still just sitting right there, but it's perfectly healthy. The amount of time I had it out of the water was the amount of time that you've seen me have it out of the water. But let's dip our worm in there a few more times, and almost makes you want to put a bigger hook on just in case, but obviously there's a reason that the fish bit. That hook is way too small. That was really stressful. If I would have gave that fish any slack whenever I was getting it, I wouldn't have caught it. So I'm gonna stretch my line out. My line is awfully stretched, wavy all over the place. This is what I was trying to catch, I was hoping to catch a bass, but so that I can, I need to get some dovetails cut into a shelf that I'm gonna build tomorrow. Maybe a bass. Yep, there's another bass. Oh man. Well, poop, there was another bass. I don't think it was near as big. It was a big fish, but maybe 2 to 3 pounds. Shoot darn. Could have been a big one though. Guess we'll never know. Looking so many more bass. Almost want to change up my hook presentation. I started out with 32 night crawlers. That's what I picked up last night. And I need to go wet the ground at home so I can pick more up tonight. Probably never hook another fish. I'll be damned. Well, there's our trifecta. Earlier on in the day I was shooting for. I'm not supposed to throw these back, but I don't think throwing one back's gonna hurt anything. That is every species in this pond though. Got another one. Well, they're over here too. Well, I just went and caught 3 in 3 casts immediately, right over there. I don't think there's a shortage of bait for these big bass. That's for sure. But if I want there to continue to be big bass, then the crappie really need to go. Crappie is a big issue here, but well, I think that's going to be it. I'm going to clean my mess up here. I've got fishing line broke everywhere from being caught in the trees about a dozen times, including yesterday when I came in here. I'm going to spend just a few minutes trimming out the rest of this a little bit, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to trim another one out on the way out. Always remember, guys, God loves you and God bless, and you guys have a good day. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop.